Good for the sport. You know, it's unfortunately what happened, and no one wants it. I didn't actually see it because we were doing an interview in the room, and I come out and I heard about it. No one wants that happening, but both the guys were.
And where you are, if you don't want to fight, if you don't want to fight, if you don't want to fight, they say that, bro.
Like I said, there's always two sides of AJ.
You said for a while that you will see it at some point.
You will see it. And when someone pushes your buttons, when someone shoves you like that, when someone starts talking about your mum, no man, like, look.
As yesterday, Anthony Joshua attacked Deontay Wilder at the airport and Wilder ended up hospitalized. Today, boxing pros are not holding back at all. The reaction is aggressive. Many saying this crossed the line completely, and Anthony Joshua should be sued for it.
Start talking about my mum and all this other stuff, I'm going to have a pop at you. I can't fight, but I don't care, I'll have a right go. And you're talking about the world heavyweight champion. If you start talking to him like that, if you shove him like that, he's going to react.
Frank Warren's reaction is now coming in, and he is clearly saying this is not good for boxing at all. With Deontay Wilder ending up in hospital, the situation has turned serious and the criticism towards Anthony Joshua is only getting stronger.
More of it, that's for sure, and everybody wants to show some respect to each other, and let's see the fight where it should happen in the ring on Saturday night.
Duke McKenzie sees it completely differently and is brushing it off as part of the fight business. But after Anthony Joshua's airport attack left Deontay Wilder hospitalized, the take feels out of touch as fighters now push back hard.
It wouldn't surprise me, but like I say, I don't see there's any harm in it. It didn't bring the sport into disrepute in any way. This is the show business world that we live in. There's the fight game and then there's the fight business. And from the business perspective, that's probably just sold another 1 million tickets worldwide to people to watch this fight.
Anthony Joshua saying he wants to hurt Deontay Wilder hits very differently now. After yesterday's airport incident where Wilder ended up hospitalized, this sounds less like fight hype and more like something that went too far in real life.
A lot of problems, but that's high-level competition. I won't kind of go over everything that I've been studying about him, but let's just say he's got a good mindset. He's spoken a lot, so you know where his head's at. He's game in it, and that'll be good enough for me. That's good enough to bring the best out.
Tyson Fury backing Deontay Wilder again and questioning Anthony Joshua's resume just adds more fuel. Right now, after Wilder was hospitalized, this narrative is getting louder that Wilder is the real fighter while Anthony Joshua is losing respect rapidly.
Anthony Joshua needs to prove himself on the world stage because he's so happy fighting in England, and he fought a beaten Klitschko after I'd destroyed him mentally and had a war with him in a beaten fighter. So he needs to prove he's willing to step up to the plate and fight the...
This is the mindset of Deontay Wilder, always ready for war inside the ring. But what happened at the airport crossed that line completely, and now many believe Anthony Joshua took advantage of that warrior mentality in the worst way possible.
It wasn't an exchange. I mean, it wasn't a few words, you know. I adapted up with him and I said, now let's get it on. And it was simple as that.
Is that the fight you want next, Deontay?
I'm ready for whoever, you know. It's whoever. As long as these guys is in the heavyweight division, I'm here. You know, like I said, you can call me Mr. Clean because I want to clean up the whole division. The heavyweight division is nothing without Deontay.
Max Kellerman lays it out clearly, and it now hits even harder after what happened. Anthony Joshua had every reason to avoid Deontay Wilder, because Wilder has always been that dangerous equalizer. When you combine that fear narrative with yesterday's airport incident where Wilder ended up hospitalized, it raises serious questions. Was this frustration boiling over from years of avoiding the risk? Many now believe Anthony Joshua knew exactly how dangerous Wilder is in the ring, and instead of settling it professionally, things spilled over in the worst possible way outside of it.
Joshua was making $30 million a fight, fighting anyone in front of 70 to 100,000 fans in England. Why make $50 million to fight a guy who might beat him, right? Wilder really can beat he has chances against anyone because Fury's right. He's one of the great all-time punchers with the right hand. So there's no financial incentive for Joshua to fight.
Frank Warren now trying to calm things down and move the sport forward, but the damage already feels done. After Deontay Wilder was rushed to hospital, fans and fighters are not ready to just move on. Apologies or not, the image of Anthony Joshua has taken a major hit. In today's boxing world, Perception matters just as much as performance, and right now the perception is brutal. Many are openly saying this situation should not be brushed aside so quickly, and legal consequences are still being discussed heavily.
That's not what we want. I don't want to see that happen. No one does. But I understand now both sides have made it up. They've apologised. So hopefully it's all in the past and we can concentrate what everybody's at.
Carl Froch is openly questioning Anthony Joshua's belief and confidence, and that doubt is now echoing louder than ever. After what happened at the airport, people are starting to connect the dots between mental pressure and actions outside the ring. If Anthony Joshua truly believed he could beat Deontay Wilder, would things have escalated like that? Meanwhile, Wilder's power remains the ultimate threat and fighters know it. That right hand only needs one clean connection and it's over, which is why many still back Wilder heavily in this rivalry.
I don't know if AJ believes he can beat Deontay. Well, maybe he does, maybe he wants to come back, maybe he wants to fight again, but what happens in that fight? Anthony Joshua in one corner, Deontay Wilder in the other corner, they come together in the centre of the ring. What happens? I honestly can't say what happens. I think if Deontay Wilder throws a couple of meaningful right hands and connects on AJ's chin, then the fight's over. AJ will be knocked out. He's got to fight.
Carl Froch paints a picture of hesitation and uncertainty, and that image now sticks even more after the airport drama. Anthony Joshua appearing unsure in those moments, and then exploding outside the ring creates a narrative that fans cannot ignore. It looks like bottled pressure finally snapping. On the other side, Deontay Wilder was direct, confident, and ready to fight the right way inside the ring. That contrast is exactly why the boxing world is leaning towards Wilder right now, seeing him as the more genuine and fearless competitor.
When Deontay Wilder walked from the ring, AJ was stood there looking a bit weird and a bit like confused, like, am I going to do anything, am I not going to do anything? And Wilder, I think, said, let's do it next, let's do it, let's get it on. And AJ just sort of, he didn't say much. I think he might have said, you don't want this, or something to them lines, but never really tried to get the fight going. I think AJ's got this thing in his head where I don't think he's sure of himself. If he thinks about fighting Deontay Wilder, does he believe he can actually beat him?
Johnny Nelson trying to suggest Deontay Wilder has lost his power, but that claim is not convincing many fans or fighters. Wilder's reputation has always been built on that one devastating right hand, and one fight does not erase that history. After the airport incident where Wilder was the one hospitalized, sympathy and support have only grown stronger for him. People are now rallying behind Wilder even more, dismissing these doubts and focusing instead on how dangerous he still is when given a fair fight inside the ring.
Wilder's snapper's gone. Wilder's TNT has gone. Wilder's that punch is gone. He couldn't even let it go. He's just gone. So I don't believe that. I think Carl might be setting the cat amongst the pigeons.
Duke McKenzie is still looking at this as a business fight. But right now emotions around Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder are at boiling point. After the airport incident where Wilder ended up hospitalized, this fight talk doesn't feel like promotion anymore, it feels personal. Even though he praises Anthony Joshua's power, the reality is Deontay Wilder's fanbase is not buying into any downgrade talk. The narrative has shifted heavily towards Wilder being the victim in this situation, and that is adding even more pressure on Anthony Joshua as criticism continues to grow from every angle of boxing.
Deontay Wilder knows how to sell a fight, and he's already called out Joshua. That's a big fight. I mean, like I said, I'd love to see him walk away from the sport. Wilder, I'd like to see him say, you know what, I've had enough. But he's already got his eyes on the next one, potentially a fight with Joshua. It's not a good fight to take. It's not a good fight to take. Yeah, Joshua's a big, meaty guy. Joshua's right hand's like probably the hardest. He's probably the hardest punching heavyweight right now. For me, personally, I think he hits harder than Wilder.
Frank Smith is trying to protect Anthony Joshua's image and future direction, but right now the situation is far from simple. After Deontay Wilder was hospitalized following the airport clash, the spotlight on Anthony Joshua has turned from opportunity to controversy. Everyone may want to fight Anthony Joshua, but now the question is who wants to fight him under these circumstances. The boxing world is not just talking about matchups anymore, they are talking about accountability and consequences. That is what makes this situation far more serious than a normal fight build-up.
It's all eyes on getting AJ whatever works best for him, whatever the right route back is for him. There's discussions ongoing. AJ's the hot ticket. You know, everyone wants to fight Anthony Joshua. So let's.
Eddie Hearn is trying to stay balanced, but even his words show the tension around Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder is not normal anymore. The stare down, the silence, the energy between them has now spilled far beyond the ring. After Wilder's hospital situation, every past interaction is being re-examined by fans and experts. Even when praising improvements, the undertone is clear: this rivalry has become unpredictable and emotionally charged. Anthony Joshua's presence alone now triggers massive reactions, and that is exactly why the boxing world is split more than ever.
He looked better. I thought he looked better. Listen, Chisora's not easy. Do you know what I mean? He's a tough man. He's not an easy guy to beat. I wasn't impressed with Wilder, but I was more impressed than I thought. That makes sense.
Pain Game is speaking like a true boxing fan, but now the stakes feel completely different after the airport incident. The idea of Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder has always been massive, but now it is surrounded by controversy, emotion, and unfinished business. With Wilder hospitalized and tensions rising, this is no longer just about legacy, it is about redemption and public perception. Fans want the fight, but they also want answers about what really happened. Anthony Joshua's future now feels tied directly to this rivalry, and every move he makes is being watched more closely than ever.
Now, AJ has two options on the table. And the reality is, after that win, I think people would be very fucking interested in watching Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. We never got it. We always wanted it. Yes, it isn't them in their prime. I don't care. I'm a boxing fan. I want to see them two fight each other. In fact, it's even more interesting on some levels now, because I don't know what the fuck either of them are going to look like in there against each other and how much AJ has got left. And he's been through a lot lately. I'd love to see him back in the ring after everything he's been through. It was great seeing him ringside, enjoying himself, seeming positive, enjoying the boxing. I want to see him in there.
This whole situation has now gone far beyond a normal boxing rivalry and has turned into one of the most controversial stories in the sport right now. What started as a heated airport confrontation between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder has escalated into massive backlash after Wilder was reportedly hospitalized, and now the entire boxing world is split into two sides. Some believe this is just emotions boiling over between two heavyweight stars who have been calling each other out for years, while others feel Anthony Joshua has crossed a serious line and should face consequences, even legal action. If Deontay Wilder comes back from this situation, it could add even more fire to his mindset and make a potential future fight even more dangerous and personal. On the other hand, Anthony Joshua is now under heavy pressure from fans, fighters, and boxing experts who are questioning his actions and mentality. The big question is who is mentally stronger right now and who can handle the pressure moving forward. This rivalry has now reached a point where it is no longer just about boxing skill, but about pride, reputation, and survival in the heavyweight division. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment your opinion on who is right and who is wrong in this chaos.